The advice, counseling, or opinions expressed in the following program represent the views of the program's participants and do not necessarily represent the opinions of Multnomah Community Television.
Welcome to the Cosmic Connection. What you're about to hear and see may well disturb you, but please keep an open mind. You may find that the information offered on Cosmic Connection differs from anything in your previous experience. The views and opinions discussed here are not necessarily those of the organization broadcasting this program, and they are certainly not endorsed by the government of this United States of America. Our government continually seeks to suppress the investigation of unidentified flying objects and all other subjects of a like nature. These opinions, however, are not the views of hucksters or charlatans trying to exaggerate the importance of the message in order to exploit the public for their own gain. On Cosmic Connection, you'll see and hear from honest, thoughtful people whose only desire is to understand the remarkable experiences they've been party to. To shed light is our motive here. And in that spirit, let me now welcome you to the Cosmic Connection and to your host, the Cosmic Connector.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of the Cosmic Connection, live on the Cable Access Network, Channel 21, from Multnomah Community Television. We welcome you. Our telephone number will be 667-7434. Call now to get in on the lines so you don't have to listen to a busy tone for the rest of the program. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In studio, we have our field investigator, Ron, and my co-host, Dennis. There's been a lot of excitement lately. I understand that there's been some sightings in the Portland area. We'd like to thank all the folks that showed up at Mount Hood for our Mount Hood UFO Cosmic Connection Sky Party. It was excellent. I would say anywhere in the neighborhood of around 50 to 60 people showed up out there at 85 miles from town in the middle of the boonies, and it was very nice. Everybody was well behaved, and we want to thank them very much for showing up. Also, we're going to show a film clip from the 1989 George Knapp UFO special shortly. I'd like to thank the La Costa Mexican Restaurant out there at 7425 Southwest Barbara Boulevard for their fine Mexican platters that they've provided us for the past 17, 18 shows. Roberto Aguilera and Francisca Garzon, we want to thank them very much for their sponsorship and their participation with this program. Also, we'd like to review some of the testimony, some of the new information that we have just received concerning the Roswell video. This is the alien autopsy video that most of you have seen on the Fox network. But before that, we are going to show, like I said before, we're going to show the 1989 George Knapp specials, UFOs, The Best Evidence. And Dennis, I believe this particular film clip we're going to see deals with the NASA cover-up, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and then Ron, we'll get to your report in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you still tuning in, we're going to wait for the rest of them because we have some pretty startling information for you out there. But in the meantime, let's take it away in the control room, and this will be the George Knapp special dealing with the NASA cover-up. Thank you.
The study of UFOs is anything but harmonious. UFO researchers are often their own worst enemies, engaging in character assassination, backbiting, and disinformation. So when a new and incredible source of UFO information comes along, the UFO community tends to take it with a grain of salt. Tonight in part 4 of our series, UFOs, The Best Evidence, George Knapp introduces us to a UFO source known as the Falcon.
One of the biggest UFO stories of 1989 was the taping of a conversation that allegedly took place between space shuttle pilot John Blaha and NASA concerning an alien spacecraft.
Houston, this is Discovery. We still have the alien spacecraft under observance.
Was this actually the voice of Blaha talking about a UFO? People wondered. Voice comparisons were made to find out.
Houston, this is Discovery. We still have the alien spacecraft under observance. It's a shame we can't be here all the time with a permanent manned space station. We ought to get in that direction.
The man largely responsible for publicizing the alleged Blaha tape was Bob Exler, a former NASA mission specialist. But that was 1989. This year, Exler says it was all a hoax, and the government did it.
There's an experimental transmission facility by the Air Force in the geographic location of the origin of the transmission. The National Security Agency is located within that area. It's a hoax of unknown origin, but there's room for speculation. It just is too good a hoax for someone to just contrive and come up with.
Exler and others suspect that distortion and disinformation are the government's primary tools for dealing with the UFO topic. Journalist Bill Moore can recite a long list of examples of how the government has spoon-fed bogus UFO information to gullible researchers. Moore admits he even played a role in one such scheme. Moore alleges the official lying dates back to the 1940s, when the Air Force began studying UFO cases.
80% remained unexplained in 1949. Yet they were telling the public at that time, in public press releases dated the same month, that only 10% remained unexplained. Flat out lie to the press. At the time, the press couldn't say different, but now, 40 years later, with freedom of information and access to that document, it's clear they lied to the press. Why did they do that? And all the way through, you can trace a deliberate pattern of disinformation, deception, the laughter curtain, the ridicule, the debunking, the UFO bashers that come out, there's still a few of them around, and say that anybody involved with UFOs is a crackpot.
Anyone who knows UFOs knows the brilliant but arrogant Bill Moore. His fingerprints are all over the foremost cases and questions in ufology. He and Stan Friedman are primarily responsible for painstakingly documenting the Roswell incident, the apparent crash of a UFO in New Mexico in 1947, which is perhaps the best documented UFO case of all. The so-called MJ-12 documents, which allege that a secret panel of scientists and military men are in control of a UFO cover-up, first surfaced in an anonymous mailing to Moore's close friend, film producer Jamie Chandray. The UFO community is deeply divided over the legitimacy of the MJ-12 papers. Even more controversial, though, is Moore's reliance on an informed source codenamed Falcon.
The entire historical aspects from day one, from the first sighting near Mount Rainier to recently, I think within the last 5 years, is contained in a large book that we refer within the intelligence community as a Bible.
Can you give me a physical description of these aliens?
A creature about 3'4" to 3'8" tall. Their eyes are extremely large, almost insect style. Their eyes have a couple of different inner lids, and that's probably because they were born on a planet that had a sun, a binary sun. The days were extremely bright. They have no teeth as we know it. They have a hard gum-like area. Their internal organs are quite simple. They have a one organ which encompasses what we would refer to as a heart and lungs. It's one pulmonary sac. Their brain is more complex than ours. It has several different lobes than ours have. Their hearing is quite better than ours, almost better than the dogs. Small areas the side of their heads. And their sexual organs they have males and females. And the female has the sexual organs similar to ours, similar to our females. They don't require very much liquid. They transfer all the food that they eat into liquids. They extract the liquid. Their body extracts the liquids out of the food. So they don't require a lot of liquids. But they have been able to eat some basic food products, vegetables, and fruits that we would eat. But I believe they have problems digesting meat products, and I don't believe that they eat meat on their planet.
Falcon is one of a dozen alleged intelligence operatives who've been funneling information to Moore and Chandray. The other sources have also been assigned bird-like code names, including Condor and Hawk. Falcon in particular has vocalized support for many of the same UFO positions defended by Moore, namely the existence of MJ-12, the legitimacy of the Aquarius document, which alleges that flying saucers are being tested in Nevada, and the reported plot to withhold UFO information from the public. Moore and Chandray have, for the first time, produced a videotape for mass distribution, sort of Falcon's greatest hits.
Our job out there in the field was to investigate sightings, landings, or contacts with UFOs or UFOs extraterrestrials in a way that we wouldn't draw attention to the public. So we had to do our investigation through a covert means. And that's why we were disguised or under cover of military or other federal agencies when we were investigating these UFO sightings. We run it just like we would run an intelligence operation. We would solicit either witting or unwittingly. We recruit these people just as an intelligence officer would recruit an agent in a foreign country to provide us information on these sightings. We've used newspaper personnel wittingly and unwittingly, and we've used scientists, or we have posed as scientists. Well, sometimes when you deceive the public, you're protecting the public. And I certainly would protect the public in deception operations if it was for their own good. But some aspects of this UFO investigations that have occurred over the years have no reason to be withheld from the public. The general knowledge that there were aliens that landed on Earth back in the early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, and that we have had some type of crude communications with them since.
Moore and Chandray say they have independent confirmation that Falcon is or was an intelligence operative, but even some of Moore's closest contemporaries have reservations about the material.
This whole business about Condor and Falcon and guys putting out documents with false statements in them, I've seen some, and I've tried to stay away from it. I try to work with something I can get my mitts into.
I'm convinced, for example, that Falcon and Condor, the alleged agents who spoke on the UFO Cover-Up live program in October 1988, were embroidering a lot of the information they gave out. I'm absolutely convinced that some of that was disinformation, but the important thing is that they are confirming that there has been contact. Contact has been established.
Moore's UFO enemies are less complimentary. They think Falcon and Condor are trying to use them as pigeons. There's a widespread assumption that Falcon is a former Air Force intelligence officer named Richard C. Doty, who is infamous in UFO circles for gleefully misleading researchers. Some have alleged that Moore is either an agent himself or is at least on the disinformation payroll. Still others say Moore is just out to make money, whether on Falcon tapes or MJ-12 documents.
If I were out to get rich to make money on this thing, I'd have done that 5 years ago when we got the MJ-12 documents. I'd sold them the National Enquirer. In fact, they wanted to buy them. I wouldn't sell them. I had 2 publishers approach me, want to do the story. I turned them down. We don't know about this stuff. Until we know something about this material, there isn't a story here. So it's not money. What I'm out to do is find out what the bottom line is and how it will influence man's future. I think it's high time somebody rubbed the human race's nose in its own excrement and said, hey folks, to an alien, this is what you look like. This is what you're doing to your planet.
As difficult as it may sound to us, they are so far advanced and that they can't communicate with us like we could communicate with each other on this planet. And I believe it's partly because of them being scared of us as a different type of creature.
If there are aliens, it's no wonder they're scared of us, considering how some humans have reacted to the prospect of their presence. Tomorrow, a look at how UFOs have become convenient vehicles for conspiracy buffs and right-wing zealots. George Knapp, Eyewitness News 8.
Paula Francis is up next with Health Watch.
All right, welcome back to the Cosmic Connection. That was, kill the sound please, yes. That was from the 1989 George Knapp UFO Special, UFOs the Best Evidence. Give us a call at 667-7434. My name is The Cosmic Connector. We have a post office box if you'd be interested in receiving information such as the GAO report that's just been released as of July 28th, 1995. This was the investigation that Congressman Steve Schiff out of Roswell, New Mexico, stated and had the organization, the Government Accounting Office, look into the alleged crash of a flying disc in the Roswell Desert in 1947. All right, now for some local UFO activity. Ron, I understand that there was some activity September 23rd on those dates in the Tigard, Beaverton area. Am I correct on that?
Well, actually, I spoke with Peter Davenport a few days, midweek after the weekend of the 23rd, and we had a sighting in Scappoose on one of those days. I believe it was the 23rd, of a large triangle object with red and white flashing lights. 3 adults evidently called this one in to Peter Davenport, the National UFO Reporting Center.
Yes.
Currently, right now, MUFON has 2 investigators on that one. Also in Salem, on the 23rd at 9:30 p.m., witness saw lights from his living room, went outside and saw a large diamond-shaped object with an octagon bottom with 5 extending, almost like landing pads. This object was about 40 feet wide, 12 feet in height. Lights were orange and red and seemed to be flashing like a Christmas tree going up and down the sides of the object. Distant from the witness is about 150 feet. This was first sighted in the northwest by I-5 in Salem, and the object hovered for about a minute and a half and took off at a high rate of speed to the north. And there was another sighting, Redmond, Washington. Witnesses saw a spinning silver spear.
A what?
A spinning silver spear hovering in the sky.
In Renton, Washington?
Redmond.
Oh, Redmond? All right.
And that's some of the local sightings that we've had, as I spoke with Peter Davenport. Evidently, that weekend was pretty hot for sightings and also around the nation.
Well, up at the Mount Hood get-together, the group witnessed several shooting stars, which are prominent at this time. Also, we were looking at the satellites going by. Nothing significant. One detail that we did see around 8:30 Saturday night, September 23rd, we were watching the satellites pass through the atmosphere. We spotted one satellite, and then these satellites are very high, about 1.5 to 2 feet behind it, someone noticed a second one trailing the first object. And as the first object that we spotted approached 3/4 across the horizon, the first object came to an abrupt stop.
And waited for the other one.
And waited for the other satellite, and the other little pinpoint light. Now, as far as I know, satellites do not stop. So I thought that was very interesting. I pointed that out to various other members that were up there with us, and that's what we have to report. Also, I'm going to read from the GAO report a response. There are several responses in here from various agencies, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like a copy of the GAO report, I have received some letters. I have just finished printing out several of these, so I know that you people who have written, the dates on the letter were August 19th, so please be patient. You will get a GAO report in that. The self-addressed stamped envelope does not cover what it takes for you to receive a GAO report. So if you would like to put in a large envelope, the size of, I guess this is 11 by 20, something like that, 10 by 14, a legal size copy, put in an envelope with the appropriate postage, that would be appreciated. For those of you who did not, you will still receive the GAO report. All right, for the next several shows, I will be reading one response. This is comments from the National Security Council to the GAO, and it goes as follows. National Security Council, Washington, D.C., April 28, 1995. Memorandum for Mr. Joseph E. Kelly, Director in Charge, International Affairs Issues, General Accounting Office. Subject, request for National Security Council records. I am responding to your April 12, 1995 request for information or NSC records related to the crash of an airborne object near Roswell, New Mexico in July 1947. The NSC has no records or information related to the incident at Roswell. For information about any government records that may document the crash at Roswell, we suggest you contact the National Archives Textual References Division, 8601 Al Duffy Road, College Park, Maryland, and they give their phone number, and it's addressed sincerely, Andrew D. Sens, Executive Secretary. This is just one of many responses, and as we go through the various responses, you will see that no information was given out, and the people and the agencies that were contacted do not seem to know about the Roswell affair. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may see, well, why do you keep talking about the Roswell? Roswell this, Roswell that. Why is it being brought up now? Well, there have been individuals, as we have had on this program, who are coming out now, who after it's been 50 years, almost 50 years, since this alleged crash in New Mexico. And now we have, with the advent of this autopsy film of an alleged alien, I've spoken with someone recently. I was teetering, either it was hoax or fact. My mind has been made up after talking to this individual. This autopsy film, in my opinion, is authentic.
Well, that relates to, as a matter of fact, that gentleman you spoke to today put you in sort of an awkward position to where you became a member of the cover-up, at least temporarily today.
Yes.
So for a little while, you're aware of information you cannot reveal about the autopsy film.
As of right now, that is true. Dennis, I understand you have some information that I think we should let the public know right now.
My sources have informed me that as of August 8th, the cameraman who took the autopsy film died. August 8th.
Is that right?
And also, his telephone and his son's telephone is now disconnected, and their houses are vacant, nobody can locate them, and nobody knows where the film is. So we may not get to see the Truman film at all. And related to that, it's now known that the person that sold the film was not the actual cameraman. He was a third party, so they were playing a bit of a shell game trying to play it safe, I guess.
Startling information.
But allegedly the cameraman's dead.
That, right? The cameraman allegedly is deceased or cannot be located. The alleged Truman film that Linda Moulton Howell has spoken of on the Art Bell Dreamland program, this film was not developed yet. It was just a vintage 1947 film canister that had not been developed.
Well, it had been developed, but it hadn't been transferred to video.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see those reels that we've seen.
Right.
All right. So this just goes along with everything else. This is par for the course.
Par for the course.
All right. Do we have a phone call? 667-7434. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get in on this discussion, feel free to call at 667-7434. We'll take your calls and discuss whatever's on your mind. If you went out to the Mount Hood trip, please give us a call. I'd like to read something else here. Hot off the presses, the Groom Lake Desert Rat. This is off of the internet. This is dated September 29th, 1995. And this particular section right here, autopsy dissected. Get me a brain, Igor. I must have a brain. The internet is looking like Frankenstein's laboratory these days as armchair pathologists around the world dissect the alien body shown on the alleged Roswell autopsy film. It's the O.J. trial all over again. Guilty or not guilty, real or hoax. This time the setting is an anonymous morgue somewhere in the 20th century. How many times can we watch the surgeon's knife drawn across this poor bloated creature? How long must we debate with our email colleagues whether the alleged alien blood is oozing just right after viewing the TV show frame by frame and listening to the discussions on the net? What is that organization? Psychopsy has made his conclusion. It is real. The film, that is, it really exists. We know it exists because it was shown on Fox, the Simpsons X-Files network, and they would never lie to us, just selectively editing. A more difficult question, which others seem obsessed with, but doesn't bother us too much, is whether the alien shown on this real film is a real extraterrestrial. Our theory is that the truth will shake out on its own, especially with so many net nerds currently chipping away at it. Eventually, the accumulated evidence will be so overwhelming as to make the truth perfectly obvious, one way or the other, and we see no need to declare our beliefs in this interim. Far more interesting to us are the intellectual processes and human impact of the public investigation. It is fascinating to watch 10,000 virtual human minds turn their resources to this problem. Many of these minds are virtual morons, and it goes VMs, whose words just take up space in the news group. But there are also a few smart characters on the wires, including competent specialists in movie props, theater lighting, medical procedures, and military history, whose professional advice you might pay thousands of dollars for in the real world. Of course, even these experts can't seem to agree. For every Hollywood prop artist who says it can't be done, there's another who says it can and under budget.
Speaking of
that is from the Groom Lake Desert Rat. That is number 30. These can be obtained for you if you have a computer with the modem from the BBS Hangar 18 at 771-9008.
And while we're on that subject, we have clips from the movie, the autopsy film, that were not shown on Fox Network that show the wreckage from the craft, such as I-beams with the alien markings and the, quote, control panels.
Very good. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have unlimited access on the BBS number. That number right there, that is Dennis's BBS Hangar 18. That is in connection with the Cosmic Connection. A lot of work has been done on this. It's absolutely free to you out there with a computer and a modem. Please take advantage of that. And this excerpt that I just read.
And one other thing.
Yes.
Let's thank all the folks that have contributed to the Hangar 18 and made it what it is, uploading files and information.
Absolutely.
Without them, it would be a lot less than what it is. The group in Portland have chipped together and made it one of the most outstanding BBSs I've seen anywhere.
I concur. I remember when you just had 5 or 6 photographs on there, and with all the text that you've collected, now everyone contributing. And like I was saying, the Groom Lake Desert Rat, this document that I just read to you, that was just 2 paragraphs of what is 36, well, we have 20 pages here.
And there's another.
That is titled Desert Rat number 30. There are another 29 on there.
Let's speak for a minute about number 24.
All right, let's do that. We're going to take a call. Number 24 deals with a gentleman by the name of Gerard, who we've affectionately called as Grandpa Lazar.
Let's go ahead and take the call, and we'll get to that in a moment.
All right. Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm calling from Southeast Portland.
Excellent. Your name, please.
Mike.
First name.
Mike.
Mike, welcome, sir.
Yeah, I just called because I have a question. I've watched your show. I've never called before. I've watched your show off and on in the past. And I had kind of a strange experience when I was a kid. And this is like about 30 years ago. And I saw something right in Southeast Portland here. And I've never been able to explain it. And what I want to find out from you, if I can, is if there's anybody else back in that time period that might have saw the same thing. And basically it was just a saucer, and it was right in central Southeast Portland.
Daytime or nighttime?
Huge.
Was this daytime or nighttime?
Night, well, dusk.
And how close was it?
Extremely close.
Wow.
There was no color involved. It was round. It was huge. I could definitely see the shape. I mean, it was just huge. I mean, it looked like it was really close.
Ron, give us a time frame, month, day, time of year.
I would have been 10 or 11 years old, so it would have been 64 or 65.
All right, and you want someone to confirm what you saw, so be as detailed as possible.
Yeah, that's something that's bothered me for a lot of years. I'm 40 now, and it's something that, of course, it wasn't believed by anybody when I ran home and told my parents. The first thing that happened was, yeah, sure, kid.
Okay, time frame. What time of night?
Around, it's been so long ago, I don't remember.
He said he thought
it probably would have been around 7 or 8.
All right. What time of the year? I mean, you want someone to confirm what you saw, or you know, jog someone's memory.
Hold on a second. My son's trying to get in here in the house. Hold on just a second.
Well,
all right.
That's approximately around the same time I had my sighting over Portland of three craft. A friend and I were watching the night sky.
I'm sorry I left you.
This was summertime.
I'm sorry I left you there. My son was locked out. I had to let him in. Anyway, I would say it was probably the end of summer.
What year?
64 or 65.
All right.
And I'm wondering if you have an address, maybe I can write to you and get some information if it's possible.
You're going to do what now?
If you have an address, maybe I can write to you.
Yes.
And then instead of giving you my name and address over the phone, which I prefer.
Right. You've seen this program before. There is a post office box. And I thank you for taking the time to call us.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just curious because something that bothered me for a long time, and the thing that disturbed me most about it was how fast it was gone.
Yeah.
And what bothered me most is there was just no sound.
So there you go. Now you're getting into the details.
That disturbed me a lot. And it didn't disturb me then. It disturbed me later in life when I thought about it. You know, I just thought about it one night, and all of a sudden it just clicked in my mind that there was no sound when that thing, I mean, it shot. It was just hovering there, and then it just shot across the sky, and it was gone just like that.
We've had many reports that are similar to that of different times, and Portland seems to be quite a viewing place for UFOs throughout the years. So there just hasn't been one particular point in time where craft have been seen in this town.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, for a 10 or 11-year-old kid, it was pretty actually frightening experience.
Sure.
And it was pretty frustrating, too, to have people not believe you on top of it. But,
all right, well, Mike, we're going to take another call.
All right.
I want to thank you very much for submitting your report to us.
Okay.
And please call again, and please write to that post office box.
The one was on the screen. Okay.
It'll be up there now and at the end of the program.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Bye.
And if we do get any confirming reports, we'll announce it on upcoming Cosmic Connections.
Here's one thing I might bring up to your
to
your viewers, especially like myself. I think my first sighting was about 30 years ago also, at about age 10. And one thing to the viewers out there, as far as sightings are concerned, the National UFO Reporting Center, I can give that number.
Please do. We have before, yes.
Peter Davenport at area code 206-324-3319. He has our numbers for MUFON. For each investigator has an area. I cover the Washington County area, and each investigator is assigned a certain area. So if there is a sighting, call that number. He'll get in touch with either the state director or an investigator for that specified area. Get as much detail as you can about the object.
Important.
If you have a camera, take a picture. Try to get a foreground so they can determine the size, distance. If you have a video camera, don't fan real quick. Stay stationary on the object. Again, too, running.
And if you're alone, find a witness real quick so your sanity doesn't go too
Even
far.
a running commentary if you have a video camera. Size, what colors, which direction, how far off the horizon. The more information you have, it makes our job a little bit easier on the investigation.
And Ron, just to give yourself some validity here, you are an investigator. You've been doing this for quite a long time, correct?
Yes.
And your background, we won't go into that, but you have a very extensive background in other matters, and I'm very proud to have you connected with this program.
Thank you.
Next caller, please. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
Hello?
Hi there.
Yeah, this is Gary.
Hi, Gary. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I saw the Alien film, and I thought it was really believable.
Well, like I said, I was in the gray basket on that. Dennis was more convinced than I was. I've spoken with some people today. I honestly believe that it is absolutely genuine. It is a genuine autopsy of a genuine, authentic extraterrestrial alien.
I hope we see some more.
Yes, with the news that we've just released today, Dennis has brought up, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. I think
they may have put a lid on it.
It sure looks that way.
What I called about is I've heard that there are about 30 levels of secret in this government.
38 levels as far as I've...
And presidents are routinely brought up to about a level 17?
I wouldn't know the level. I know that presidents do not get a level clearance of 38.
Right. And Bill Clinton, in his reduced role, may be at level 11. So how on earth could anything come out? The bureaucrats come and go. These senators and representatives come and go. This level of secrecy stays.
Well, it's the good old boys club.
Yeah?
Well, if we could get enough people together to get behind Congressman Schiff and demand some answers, that'd be about our only hope.
Well, I think they ruin congressmen that actually try and do something.
Well, history will show us what happens to Congressman Schiff.
Right. Yes. So, well, keep up the good work. This kind of program can only lead to more understanding.
Absolutely, Gary. I thank you very much, and please help support the Cosmic Connection. Write us letters. We have videotapes and books available for your viewing. If you'd like to know more about it, write to this post office box. We have a library of videotapes. Dennis has the Aliens over Oregon. I have some audio tapes that go back to 1989 of interviews with Bob Lazar, Bill Hamilton, various individuals in the UFO information field. That most very interesting interview dealing with a gentleman by the name of Larry Warren, who witnessed the Bentwaters incident in 1980 out at RAF Bentwaters in RAF Woodbridge Air Force Base. That is a fantastic interview. So if you'd like more about that, please call us after the program. We can make that information available to you. Many of you have. The winter months are here. A lot of you people are coming back from vacation, channel surfing, finding our program, and we sure do appreciate it. Okay. Do we have another phone call? Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. You're on. Hello? Do we have a phone call?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
Hello, I'm Richard from North Portland.
Richard, thank you for calling. Hello.
Well, my question is, if an event occurs and it forces the government to concede it's been withholding information, then what? So what do we do? Let's all agree, hey, there are aliens out there. What does that do to us? And, you know, what would be the next step?
I've brought that up several times in conversations with Dennis and Ron, and about. I've brought it up that if
well, fortunately,
let's say a craft lands on the freeway, Stanton Friedman and others are going to be out of business. And
well, at this point, it's been long enough to where they can blame it on the previous government and say, well, those guys did it, and we've been wrestling with a way to try and admit it or release the information.
Well, it would seem that the government spends tremendous energy trying to keep it quiet when...
maybe for good reason.
Yeah, what possible reasons would they have?
Well, number one, the technology. They may have the technology that has been alleged that there is a technology transfer for other
Well, no, we don't even have to go that far. We're in possession of alien technology, and the heart of it is so super explosive it makes the atom bomb look like a firecracker. One explosion of this element contained in these propulsion systems would make a crater a third the size of the Earth. So we certainly wouldn't want that information getting out.
As Bob Lazar stated in his video there.
Right.
So
that's just one reason.
Richard, how would you react? Well, obviously.
Well, I don't. I guess I wouldn't know how to react. I'd go, oh, that's interesting, and probably just carry on with life.
And you would go to work the next day or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think they've been working on that to make it to where that's what people would do and just say, oh, that's interesting, because there's been enough in the media about aliens to where anybody that sees a big face with big black eyes goes, oh, that's an alien.
Yeah. Well, can you paint a picture of an idyllic outcome of maybe your pursuits you're following now, where government concedes and yes, there are aliens? How would you like to see this information presented to the masses, and how would you deal with it?
Well, I would basically just like to see the information brought out that the contact has been made, even if it's just a crash. There's lots of rumors that contact or communication has been made. We don't know if that's true. But whatever the truth is, let's open up the files. We don't have to release the technological secrets. Those should be kept secret, just as our atomic secrets are. But as far as what we know about these creatures, where they come from, their culture, etc., should be open game for anybody on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if any religions are going to cry and fall apart, well, let's let the chips fall where they may. I mean, this is like a rubber band that's been stretched for 50 years, and it's going to have to snap pretty soon, and we're going to have to catch up and get up to speed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's basically what I called about.
Well, Richard, that was an outstanding hypothesis question you put to us.
Well, hey, glad I could.
Yeah,
I like your show.
Every program, something new comes up, and you've got me on that one. That's excellent.
Well, you know, it just seemed like you were spending a great deal of time of uncovering truths, and then just, you know, figure out what happens when the truth is revealed.
Sure.
What do you do then?
Well, it's kind of like back when we discovered that the Earth was round, and the people that knew that were kind of like a secret society, and gradually everybody else woke up to the fact that the Earth wasn't flat. So that's kind of in the position we're in now.
It's a need-to-know basis.
Well, I congratulate you. I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
And you've got a good show.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you for participating. It's people like you that make this program that much more fascinating. We appreciate that.
Well, on that note, why don't we go to the next video clip for the Bob Lazar update?
We don't have time. We're at 44. I think we should take another few calls and then wrap it up, because we're at 44.
Well,
let's
whatever
take a
you
call.
say.
Yeah. Let's take a call. Hello?
Hello, Cosmo.
Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection. Your name?
Yeah, it's Tim. How you doing?
Tim, our guide.
Yes.
Welcome, Tim.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and thank you and everybody else that came up and had a pretty good time.
To the Mount Hood trip.
Yes.
We sure want to thank you very much. That was we had a good time out there. You couldn't ask for better weather. Better weather.
Yeah, I hope we can do it again next year. Maybe
Yeah,
next spring
I
or
hope
something.
to do it several times.
Okay.
Let me tell you something else, Tim. We're working on, and for those of you out there, we're working on a star party out in Wilsonville within the next few weeks. We are going to try and have the astronomy clubs with their telescopes, and we will be meeting out at a location. I'm not clear on the details, and we will give that to you out on the next program.
Yeah, keep me informed on that.
Sure will.
Yeah, I was just glad you was able to see something out of the ordinary up there.
We did.
And it doesn't happen every night, but I'm up there enough to where I do see it often.
Well, Tim, you've been giving us reports of exactly what we saw Saturday night. It was very timely. Of that, those two satellites, the one stopping and waiting for the trailing one to catch up. That was most unusual. I saw it. Several other people saw it, and that was most unusual.
Yeah, I'm just.
And if anybody could come up with an explanation of a satellite stopping, I'd be more than willing to hear that.
I'd like to hear it too.
High altitude.
Okay, well, I'll let you get on to your next callers then, and let me know about that Wilsonville trip.
Sure will, Tim. Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Do we have another call? Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
I should mention I'm working on a new videotape that's a guided tour of Area 51 taken by local investigators that snuck down there before the word got out.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I've seen some of the footage that you've done.
Right.
Outstanding. Another caller, please. Welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
That's me, Cosmo?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just run a few questions here, and you can answer them. I'll go ahead and hang up.
And your name?
My name is Tripod Todd.
I
Called you
knew
guys
it.
a couple times.
I knew it. I remember it. How are you?
Pretty good, not too bad.
You got to. How do you spell your name?
Well, Tripod and 1D on the Todd.
Okay, it's try what?
Tripod Todd.
Yeah, kind of my nickname there.
All right, sir, you've called us, and I immediately recognized your voice.
You're pretty good at that.
Come on, Todd.
Hey, I need to know everything you know about Comet Hale, so-called Comet Hale Bob.
I understand Richard Hoagland was on last night.
Yeah, I was listening to that, but I couldn't stay up all night. I fell asleep.
So did I. I'll have to listen to the tape later. A friend got it for me.
Oh, cool.
We have it recorded. I don't know anything about this Hale Bob comet. I have the 6-hour program or whatever on a VHS tape, and I'm going to condense that down and put it on some 90-minute cassettes, and go from there and just glean the information that Richard Hoagland spoke of. I've asked someone who listened to it if he said anything about the moon structures, and basically I don't think it was brought up in extensive detail.
Yeah, they just touched on that.
Yeah, so what's up?
Let's see, I also need, you mean the moon structures?
Yeah, I mean, that was his number one...
yeah, he was saying that they were dating him to close to like 500,000 years, something like that, 450,000. Then they had two different sources that independently dated him as and the Mars ones too.
All right.
So it was pretty interesting. You'll like it. And I also need to know the best title on Scallion. Isn't he the modern day Casey kind of guy, Edgar Cayce?
Yes, Michael Scallion?
Yeah, I need a good book on him or something that he put out.
I'm not aware, any of you?
I believe he has
All right, Ron's got one.
Videotape? Actually, I've got his address, and he's located in Michigan. Right now I don't have it available, but are you on the BBS?
No, I'm not. I'm one of these ignorant guys.
Okay.
Right to the Cosmic Connection, Tripod, and I'll definitely answer all the mail.
Okay, and one more question here.
Sure.
Falcon touched on the anatomy being different. They have kind of like a heart-lung, type thing in one.
Yes.
Well, Art Bell last night, they were talking about these aliens conceivably could be cousins, us being a subspecies, whatnot, evolved from them. And their eye structure, remember when they came out during the autopsy and pulled out the two black things right off the eyes?
Yes.
They were saying, well, like on TV and whatnot, they were going, well, they knew that was there, so they were trying to put it down. But also they were hypothesizing those could be contact lenses because these guys would have been, have evolved during, around a red dwarfs, or red giant, excuse me, and us being a orange whatever star, you guys would know all that.
Sure.
But a different star
No, we don't know all that.
Oh, okay. I don't either. I'm not an astronomer.
No, that's fine.
Took the class, but I talked to her. But so they were saying those could conceivably have been contact lenses, which was pretty cool. I was thinking about.
I've heard that analogy not too long ago, and that's not far from what I've heard of all places that some of these aliens allegedly live in the Zeta Reticular star system, and from what I understand, that is a binary star system. There is a planet out there somewhere that has two suns.
Well, that's a good guess that they might be cousins to us, which is why they look more human than we might suspect an alien would be. I've also heard it mentioned that they might be half-breeds.
Us or them? Half-breeds. Oh, the aliens that are visiting us, a cross between a different race and ourselves.
I think it could go either way.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we don't know which side.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I just heard that mentioned about the autopsy films that they might be half-breeds, and it sort of made sense to me because they do look...
Oh, I see what you mean.
...peculiarly very close to human, more than what we've heard description of other alien races, so that might be the case.
They were mentioning the hands being so close and the feet, and, they were saying, that's exactly what you'd have. The subspecies are closely related, cousins, so to speak.
Right.
And hey, Cosmo, when can you let this little tidbit out of the bag that you got?
I have no idea until I get permission.
Okay.
All I could say is, from what I've understood today, I'm going to leave a percent. I'm 99% positive in my heart that this is a real, genuine alien that we're seeing being autopsied, cut open. I got it from a source, and I believe.
Okay. Do you think I should clean up my AKs and buy a bunch of ammo and get ready to sit out in the wilderness and dig in, or am I pretty safe where we are?
No, I think we're all right.
Okay.
I think if there's any threat, the United States government can handle it.
Well, to quote one of our guests, I believe I go along with his opinion that they were here on a peaceful journey.
Oh, okay. And then we go and treat them like butt stroke them with the rifle and grab whatever.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. That was a mentality in '47, and I don't think it's changed much.
No. Well, I'll get off the air and let somebody else take over. So thanks for talking to me, guys.
Hey, Tripod, it's a pleasure to have you back. I know you call about once every year. Now, I sure do thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, pal. Thank you very much. All right, I think that's going to do it. We have several minutes. What do I have here? I've got, ladies and gentlemen, we have some new music. For those of you interested in the alternative music, I have some audio cassettes that several of these bands have made available, and I like to just pass them on to you if you're interested in any of this type of music. We have Sylvia's Ghost. I have one audio cassette of some alternative music. It's yours. I have one cassette of that. I have a cassette, several cassettes of Father Mary that you're more than welcome to have. Just write me a self-addressed stamped envelope. Messenger. I haven't received one from that, but if we do get a request for Messenger, more than happy. Lid, there's another fine band. And also we have some Soren merchandise, such as I have some about 8 or 9 of their CDs of the music that we showcase at the end of our program of Soren, the Boys of Soren, with their Far Away and their self-titled CD. I have some T-shirts and about 25 of the cassettes of Soren. I also have 4 tickets here, 2 pairs to each, who'd like to call in after the show. If you'd like to have, I want to thank Tony Hughes of the Mount Tabor Pub. We're going to have a compilation CD party. It's good for 3 days, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This coming October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, it's this weekend, so try and get a hold of the Cosmic Connection at 667-7434 after this program. Leave your name and address, and I'll see that you get a pair of tickets to this fine event. I believe there's going to be some live music, and it will be 3 days. It should be quite a happening. Also, my friends, the War Pigs, will be playing at Mount Tabor. War Pigs, Tommy and War Pigs will be doing a salute to the Black Sabbath group, and that will be October 13th. That's Friday, October 13th at Mount Tabor. That will be War Pigs with a salute, and British Steel with a tribute to Judas Priest. And that will be Friday, October 13th. That's Friday the 13th. That should be an ominous day for some fine music. I understand we have 2 calls. Let's take one more call real quick. Hi, welcome to the Cosmic Connection.
Hello, is this me?
Yes.
Oh, hi, my name's Ray. I just have a couple of comments. Could it be possible that this alleged alien that we're looking at could be an evolved, our future, an evolved version of the human being from the future? Because the way I see it, in order to get here from somewhere so far away, you'd have to completely, travel at faster than the speed of light in order to, be able to get there during your lifespan.
Are you talking about for us to travel?
Yeah, our future traveling back, maybe tinkering with
you have to throw, I learned this with Bob Lazar, you have to throw the physics and knowledge that we know out the door. It does not apply to us.
Really?
Yes, I mean, those are boundaries that we've put on ourselves.
Right, but couldn't we at some point break through those?
Oh, I'm sure that one day we may, and it's very possible we, like Bob Lazar says, the Element 115, we have that knowledge and technology right now. That's what the Project Red Light out at Area 51 is all about.
No, what he's suggesting, Cosmo, is that maybe somebody from our future time traveling back here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I've heard that scenario.
That's a possibility, but you're right. What he was mentioning, the barriers of traveling faster than the speed of light don't apply because physics, as explained by Bob Lazar, show that we can travel vast distances in milliseconds. We don't have to worry about surpassing the speed of light and all those problems because gravity works.
Can you suggest any reading for that
subject?
Absolutely.
Alien Contact by Timothy Good.
Timothy Good.
Actually, that doesn't. The best explanation of those physics are by Bob Lazar's lecture tape. It's about a 40-minute tape, and he explains all the physics behind.
It's an outstanding tape.
All the physics behind the alien propulsion and how they travel these vast distances in basically no time.
Well, I'd sure like to.
Well, Ray, call 667-7434 after the program, and we'll put you in that, all right?
All right, great. Thanks
Please
a lot.
call after the program. And Tripod, please call us after the program. Any of you out there who are interested in this information, please call us after the program. We will speak with you, and we can put you in the right direction. That's about it. My gentlemen, my guests, Ron, Dennis, thank you very much. I'd like to say, Skeeter, I want to thank you very much for your participation in this program of the Cosmic Connection. One of our cameramen will be leaving for 6 months. He's been outstanding for this program. He's helped me out a lot, and he's donated quite a bit of his time and effort to the Cosmic Connection. Skeeter, thank you very much. You'll be missed, and we look forward to you returning. Billy Goodman, my friend, thank you very much. Portland, Soren, take us away. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you October 15th, Sunday, 6 p.m., live on the Cable Access Network, Channel 11, October 15th, next season. Thank you.
You're still asking why. People live, people die, just like traffic on the freeway of life. Some people give, some people try, some people say they do, but they're just telling lies. Just a drifter, drifting day to day. Some good times, seen some bad. Some of us don't realize what we've had or what we have. For the time keeps ticking, Mother Nature cries. Some of us don't listen, have to see it with our eyes. People live, people die, just like traffic on the freeway of life. Some people give, some people try, some people say they do, but they're just telling lies. Just a drifter, drifting day to day. Who would have thought it would turn out this way? Far away. Here I stand still asking why.